So welcome to my craft room. It's a bit crowded, but it works. So today we're going to be pressing on acrylic with heat transfer vinyl, which a lot of you have asked if it can be done. It can be done. I'm using some really pretty patterned heat transfer vinyl from Printcess Puddin. This is the one where you cut not mirrored, and you then use the transfer sheet, which you need to order separately to transfer your design. But the transfer sheet is reusable, okay? And we're going to be pressing on acrylic. Now I have removed the protective plastic from the acrylic. Please remember to remove the plastic, because if you heat it with the plastic on, then you're going to have a mess. Okay, so I've already lined that one up. I've just got my heat press warming up at the moment, and then we can get started. So I still use the same setting that you would normally use for heat transfer, so it's 150 degrees Celsius. However, I am going to reduce the timing to about 5-second bursts. So because mine's automatic, I need to do that. It's a really noisy machine, but this is the one that automatically releases. It's from Ceramicraft, and it's really cool because it's got this pull-out pad, which just makes it easier for pressing shirts and things like that. But you'll see how noisy it is when we get started. Okay, the second thing you're going to need is, I use a lot of baking paper. I don't use a lot of Teflon. Obviously my pad is Teflon coated, and I do use pressing pillows when I need to. This doesn't really need pressing pillows, but because we want to protect the pad, we do need to use something just in case. Right, so I'll come back when that's warmed up. Okay, we are all warmed up and ready to go. So I've got my baking paper on the bottom, I've got my acrylic piece, and my first layer of heat transfer vinyl, because I'm doing 2 layers. I'm doing an offset, which I'll show you in another video. It's really cool. So my first is down, and we're going to give it a go. I have fairly firm pressure, and you'll see it makes a lot of noise, and it does automatically release. Okay, just a bit more time. Now the acrylic will sort of bend, but just give it some pressure downwards, and it should be fine. Ooh, just one more. You can see I'm just pressing on the middle of the acrylic, so just while it's warm, to take it back to its flat shape. And you can see that our blue layer of heat transfer vinyl is on our acrylic. So there we go. So our first one, I know you can't read anything yet because I haven't put the second layer on, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But you can see that it is definitely on there. The acrylic is pretty straight. I mean, we'll be heating it up again, so we'll just let it cool down for a moment, because if I try to line that up, it is just going to stick to it, and that's going to be a problem. So I will leave you for a moment while we wait for this to cool down. Okay, so it's cooled down, and I've put my Printcess Puddin heat transfer vinyl on top, so you can see that it is actually offset. So these areas aren't, but these areas are, which I think is really cool. It's a really pretty print. I really like this one. Okay, so let's get this one on. So once again, down on our baking paper over the top, and we're doing 5-second bursts. And we're going to press down on the acrylic to take it back to its shape, and then we're going to check to see. We just need maybe a little bit more. So if you just lift up a corner gently, don't try to rip it all off. Just rip off the corner gently and just see if it is adhering. Maybe just one more, just to be on the safe side. So okay, it is a longer process to heat transfer vinyl on acrylic, but it's certainly not a hard process. Okay, just remember that with your transfer paper for the heat transfer vinyl, it is reusable, so pop it back on its protective sheet. Alright, so ta-da! We now have 2-layered offset heat transfer vinyl on our acrylic, and it's looking pretty good, and our acrylic is straight. So now that's all ready to be displayed. So how easy was that? Okay, I'll catch you later.